In the early hours of the morning on February 17, 2021, a gang of criminals targeted a truck parked in the Sutton coalfield area of the West Midlands in the UK. The gang members broke into the truck and unloaded boxes from it into their own Leyland DAF truck, which was on false plates. The gang then swiftly made their getaway from the area with what proved to be 66 boxes of .22 caliber ammunition, which totaled about 333,000 rounds. The ammunition was manufactured by a company called Ely, who have a factory in Sutton Coalfield, which is in Birmingham. The specific type of bullets stolen were their .22 caliber LR rimfire ammunition, and this theft was carried out not long after the truck had left the factory. The police and authorities never mentioned the intended legitimate recipient of the ammunition, likely as it was not relevant to the criminal case against the thieves. The theft was reported to police and a complex investigation began in the following days, in which the suspect truck was identified and tracked arriving into the West Yorkshire area. The inquiries were fast-paced and different partner agencies collaborated together to investigate the different leads. Specialist officers were able to use CCTV and other inquiries to piece together the movements of persons identified as involved to establish where the ammunition had been stored. Investigating officers established that the suspect truck had travelled to Dewsbury, where the ammunition was unloaded into a unit on Lock Street before being then moved into a Fiat Scudo van. The net was now well and truly closing in on the gang, and police officers executed warrants at different locations in Leeds and Kirklees overnight between the 25th and 26th of February 2021. During these raids, a number of the gang members were arrested. Other operations carried out in relation to this investigation included searches at the lockup in Dewsbury. Police also carried out an operation in Farnley, at which officers located and seized the Fiat van, where they found 64 of the 66 stolen boxes stored inside. Searches were also conducted at a farm in Aberford, in which the Leyland DAF lorry used to carry out the heist was located. 8 men were sentenced at Leeds Crown Court on Wednesday the 26th of November 2025 for their roles in the theft. Anver Valley, aged 51 years of age, of Warren Street, Dewsbury, was sentenced to 4 years and 9 months in prison after being found guilty of conspiracy to steal from a motor vehicle and possession of ammunition for a firearm without a certificate. John Bull, aged 40 years of age, of Upper Blakeridge Lane, Batley, was sentenced to 4 years in prison after being found guilty of conspiracy to steal from a motor vehicle and possession of ammunition for a firearm without a certificate. James Coffey, aged 47 years of age, of New Village, Morley, was sentenced to 3 years and 3 months in prison after pleading guilty to conspiracy to steal from a motor vehicle and possession of ammunition for a firearm without a certificate. Damien Cooper, aged 34 years of age, of No Fixed Abode, was sentenced to 2 years and 3 months in prison after pleading guilty to conspiracy to steal from a motor vehicle. Harrison Pratt, aged 28 years of age, from Hawley Mill Lane, Batley, was sentenced to 3 years and 6 months in prison after being found guilty of conspiracy to steal from a motor vehicle and possession of ammunition for a firearm without a certificate. Anas Razul, aged 29 years of age, from Thornhill Street, Dewsbury, was given a 16-month suspended sentence after pleading guilty to possession of ammunition for a firearm without a certificate. Paul Singh, aged 45 years of age, of First Avenue, Leeds, was given a 12-month suspended sentence after pleading guilty to possession of ammunition for a firearm without a certificate. And finally, Jamie Patel, aged 39 years of age, of Stanningley Road, Leeds, was given a suspended sentence of 15 months after pleading guilty to possession of ammunition for a firearm without a certificate. In the aftermath of the investigation and subsequent jailing of the perpetrators involved, Detective Chief Inspector David Shaw of West Yorkshire Police's Precision Serious Organised Crime Unit, who was the senior investigating officer in this case, said, "It's hard to imagine an offence which can pose as great a potential risk to public safety as the theft of live ammunition, especially in the quantities taken in this case. Even though the bullets were of a lower sporting calibre, they could have very much posed a real threat to life. It was this threat which prompted the launch of such a large operation between police forces and our partners to locate and recover the ammunition as quickly as possible. Thanks to those inquiries, the vast majority of the stolen bullets were soon safely off the streets, with smaller further amounts of the outstanding shells since subsequently recovered in West Yorkshire. He went on to say that this case really does highlight the joint working which takes place between police forces and specialist agencies on an almost daily basis to foil serious organised criminals such as these men. We do possess the resources to track these crime networks across the country and swiftly implement large-scale operations in the most serious cases, as we've seen here. Operations to target organised criminality continue across West Yorkshire, and those involved in this activity should know that we and colleagues will use all necessary resources to bring them to justice. Detective Inspector Al Teague from the West Midlands Police Major Crime Unit said, "We worked really closely with our colleagues from West Yorkshire Police in the aftermath of the theft. Everyone involved in the operation knew that time was of the essence. The threat that this ammunition could have posed to public safety was hard to imagine, and all law enforcement agencies involved were determined to safely recover the boxes and bring those involved to justice." Thank you very much for joining me. If you did enjoy the video, please do hit that like button and hype the video if you can, as it does really help the channel out. All your support is very much appreciated, and if you'd like to help and contribute towards keeping things moving forward here at the channel, you can do so at some of the links down below in the description. Or maybe pick yourself up one of our cool Degenerate watch mugs if that's more your cup of tea. And speaking of cups, we're now on Buy Me a Coffee, so you can buy us a cup of coffee over there if you'd prefer to do that. As always, I want to give a massive shout out to the crew of legends that are my channel members. Thank you very much guys for your continued support and encouragement. It is very much thoroughly appreciated. Don't forget to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss the next video here on Degenerate Watch. I've also uploaded some shorts recently, so if you haven't seen those yet, do check them out. There'll also be a few videos appearing on screen now for you to check out too. Until next time guys, stay safe, take care, peace.